Happy Sunday morning to ya! How's everybody? Today, before we start anything, today is a very special day. 11 years ago today, my dear sweet Olivia arrived. It's your birthday! Happy birthday, Peanut. We're gonna have a good day?
Yes.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Morning, Catherine. How about if we start by going to Whole Foods to the Sunday brunch? All right, let's go. Go, 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 go. Whole Foods for breakfast, you guys. It's time for the breakfast brunch at Whole Foods. So we've got the girls and Daddy over there enjoying the Sunday brunch, French toast. And Nick is going to stay with me and enjoy some steel-cut oats with fruit. What else do you have in there? Any nuts or anything?
Yeah, almonds and cranberries.
Almonds and cranberries. Yum. And mine's just oatmeal with some raisins in it. And I think I'm going to eat some of these strawberries. And we've got raspberries and banana. And then Daddy bought pie, vegan apple pie. All right, folks, we're at the farmer's market. This is my second favorite place. I need to get some olives. The guy here has the best olives. The kids are already, and Curtis are already at back there with his dad, Curtis's dad. I'm visiting with him a little bit. I'm gonna get going and do a little shopping. How you doing, Grandpa? Are you? They're by the creek. I was wondering where everybody go. You left Grandpa by himself.
Oh man.
Okay, so where are you taking me? Oh, seriously? I don't know. Ay, ay, ay. Where do you find this cool creek at? And you got Catherine and Caroline down there by themselves?
No, Nick's down there.
Oh. I forgot Nick was here because he usually doesn't come with us. Seriously? Hi, honey. Blackberry Farm, you guys. Daddy, you want to go to Blackberry Farm? We're here. We're here. Let's go have some fun.
I love
Olivia wants to go for her birthday, and I think that Caroline is not complaining, are you? Catherine, are you excited? We're gonna take the train. You wanna take the train? You wanna take the train?
Yes. Mom, where's my iPod?
It's in there somewhere. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
You want to go ride some ponies?
Yeah.
Blackberry Farm?
Me.
Did you?
I can't do it.
Me too. Me too. So now we're gonna go to Thai Village. We're going to a Thai restaurant, one of our favorites, right, Olivia?
Right.
But I'm gonna eat a salad before we go in there because I need to be very careful about what I'm eating. So I want to eat a good fresh salad first. I grabbed this.
Skulls in their car, man.
Nick, hold on a second, honey. I grabbed this at Walmart. I grabbed this at Whole Foods where we were there this morning, and it's called an Asian edamame salad. So you see the edamame there, and it's vegan. And I looked it up on Weight Watchers app, and it's 5 smart points. So I'm excited about that. Can you believe I completely and totally forgot to show you guys what we ate at the Thai restaurant? I'm sorry. I must have been starving. I never do that, you guys. I never forget to vlog food, but I did this time. And you know what else I forgot? We've been having so much fun today. I forgot about the tomatoes that I had reserved. 30 pounds of tomatoes. So now we've got to we're at Fruitful Yield getting a little dessert, and then we are going to go and get the tomatoes. So our tomatoes are all chopped up, ready to go in the freezer. I'm excited because now we have lots of tomatoes, Olivia, for lots of tomato dishes. Are you happy about that?
Oh, winter long. Yes, I am.
Did you have a nice birthday?
Yes.
Does it feel any different to be 11 than it did 10?
No.
Happy birthday, Pumpkin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Doing.
Getting my last workout in, you guys. 10 o'clock, almost. But I didn't get enough done today, so here I am, jumping on the trampoline. So I'm gonna have Curtis. I'm gonna have Curtis give you the final thoughts, and I better stop this right now before you guys get dizzy.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Curtis here. How's everybody been? Stacy asked me to finish this vlog off, so I'm doing it on the floor because I gotta keep my phone charging because the battery's almost dead. So, guys, I'm more like a testimony guy, you know, more like I'm trying to have a living relationship with God, so I try to relate the experiences we're going through and how we're discerning those experiences, and hopefully they can be a help to other people. As a matter of fact, I hope to be doing more stuff around here because we want to add a little bit more of a spiritual aspect to the vlogs and stuff. Hopefully I don't go overboard. Those of you that were with me the other day know that I kind of can get, once I get going, I can get wound up, and I need to stay more focused. It's kind of hard on social media, like I said, for those of you guys that have heard me talk before, because you really don't know, you know, who you're speaking to. So I tend to speak in generalities and not get into like specific details because it's not my job to, you know, overshoot people and bring more conviction on people than they're ready to deal with. But sometimes I do it anyway. But anyway, that's another thing. But what I wanted to talk about tonight, guys, was you know, today was an interesting day, and one of the conversations that I'm gonna back up a little bit here. One of the conversations that Stacy and I have been having lately a lot is, man, I don't like the way that light's making my head look all bald. Maybe it's because I'm going bald, right? But one of the conversations that Stacy and I have been having a lot lately is that, you know, we get in these situations where the trials are really getting closer and closer. I mean, I'm not going to get into what trials. We all have trials, right? Well, we have our own trials too. And you know, I was talking to Stacy the other night, and I was like, man, we need to be expecting trials. We need to be bracing for trials, not getting into this situation where, like, why is this happening to me? You know, I think especially for us as Christians, you know, it's very easy to ask, well, if God is leading us, then why are all these trials coming upon us? But and you know, even trials are a relevant thing. You know, one thing I've come to learn over the years, that what are trials for one person might not be trials for another person, and vice versa, because everybody's different. You know, so, you know, what we might call trials, other people might look at it and say, man, you call those trials? We got real trials. Or, or whatever. It's all relative, but our trials are real trials to us. Does that make sense? And I'm sure, just like your trials are real trials to you. I had a friend one time. I was talking to him one time. I said, "Man, you got a lot of problems." He said to me, "Everybody does. If you don't believe me, just ask them." So we're living in tough times. This world is, in my opinion, it's starting to unravel like a cheap suit. And I want to be closer to God, and that's what I'm really trying to do. But anyway, getting back to the point of what I was trying to say here, guys, is that the trials are God's appointed workmen that are designed. As a matter of fact, we'll never let me back up a second, guys. We'll never understand the trials if we don't understand what God and Jesus are doing right now in the heavenly sanctuary. They're cleansing the sanctuary, and that means there's a work that has to take place amongst their people upon the earth. And just really in layman's terms, guys, what that means is that we all know that we're moving closer and closer to the last days. And, for those of you that know the prophecies of the book of Revelation, we see that these are being fulfilled. And God is going to have a people that are going to vindicate his name. These are going to be, the Bible references these people as the 144,000, okay? And one of the things when you study the Bible in correlation with the 144,000 is that these people, this particular group of people, they don't see death. They get, like Enoch and Elijah were prototypes, they get translated into heaven without seeing death. Well, in order to be translated to heaven without seeing death, you have to have a particular experience. And all these things are taught in the sanctuary service. That's why it's so important that we study the sanctuary. But what that means for us here and now today in layman's terms, because I don't want to get too far ahead of people, is this: that we got to have trials now. God has to shake us. God has to show us. One of the purposes of trials is it brings you into situations that are calculated to show you weaknesses and deficiencies in your character. We all have different weaknesses and deficiencies. You might have a bad temper. You might be impatient. You might not like confrontation. I mean, you might be like me, all of those things, and then some, but so we need, we need to get beat up a little bit, but if we understand what God's doing and we learn our lesson in the trials, guys, that will make all the difference. That means God won't have to keep taking us through the trials over and over and over again. The Bible says the history of the Jews is all these things it says in the New Testament that happened to them were for an example for us that live in the last days. Well, one of the things that happened to them was God had to keep taking them over and over and over the same ground again because they couldn't learn their lessons. And that's a reality, guys. First of all, if you don't know that God is pressing his people right now, for those of you that are really God's people, some of us aren't even really God's people. Some of us are just out of the ballpark because we're not meeting, let me just say, we're not meeting the requirements that the Bible teaches that it takes to be one of God's people. And I'm not going to get into those requirements right now, but there's a standard. There's a biblical standard for what it means to be called one of God's people. And some of us just, we're totally, whether it's ignorance or whether it's rebellion, we're just not meeting that standard. So what I'm saying doesn't reference that group of people. Hopefully it's not you as an individual, okay? But for those of us that are trying to live right for God, those of us that are trying to meet the standard, then we have to understand that there's a particular refining process, guys, that we have to go through, okay? And we should expect it, and we should ask God, and it should drive us to our knees. It should drive us to pray. And we need to recognize what's even more important, what will help alleviate a lot of the suffering and a lot of the frustration in the situation, is if we can recognize that what God is trying to show us, and what we need to relinquish, what is in our hearts that are separating us from God. Whether like your temper, or your lack of patience, your lack of trust, all these things that I covered, That's why these trials are happening, guys. That's why they're happening to me, and that's why they're happening to some of you. So, guys, I hope this helps you guys. I hope you guys contemplate what I said here tonight. Because like I said, going back to where I started, Stacy and I, we had some real trials today that really caught us off guard. I'm not going to get into what they were, because it doesn't matter. They were real trials. I mean, like, wow, I can't believe this kind of a thing type of thing. And, now we're going to talk about it tonight, and we're going to reflect upon it, and we're going to pray, and we're going to ask God to help us, and hopefully we're going to try to recognize, how we got caught off guard, why these trials happen. I mean, Christianity is something that you have to troubleshoot. Christianity is a science. When any of you that work in the normal world, I mean, when you got a problem, you got to troubleshoot it, right? Well, it's the same thing when you have a relationship with God. You have to, you have to back test everything and troubleshoot everything. So anyway, guys, I hope this finds you all well. It's good to see some of you guys, and hopefully we'll be seeing more of you. And if you want us to pray for you, let us know. We ask that you pray for us. And I just want to let you guys know that Jesus is coming back soon. That's not a fantasy. That's not a myth. That's not something that I've concocted in my mind. That's a certain reality, guys. It's an undeniable reality. We are very soon to meet our Maker, and I just pray that you prepare for it like I'm trying to do, and see you later.